Manchester United fans will be throwing things at the screen now, won't they, saying Donnarumma, Donnarumma?
Yeah, but again, you know, United would need to sell a goalkeeper before they bring somebody else in.
Big statement for Onana of not even being in the squad and being fit against Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, big statement, but Ruben Amorim said that had nothing to do with a potential transfer. It was just that he preferred the other goalkeepers that he had. There are reports this afternoon in Italy, not from Sky Italy, suggesting that Inter Milan may be interested in taking Onana back. I think if Onana was to leave Manchester United, and there's no indication that he's going to, we don't have any information that he is going to leave Manchester United at all. But if you're a United fan who's desperate for Donnarumma to come in, the first thing that would need to happen is for a goalkeeper to leave Manchester United. And I think that would be the same situation at Manchester City. But Manchester City have signed James Trafford as well, and he played really well at the weekend, and he's got a massive future ahead of him.
I think it's going to be a real challenge for Manchester United to do a deal to sign Donnarumma, despite the fact that 99% of Manchester United fans would like a new goalkeeper. I think there was a huge amount of excitement when Andre Onana came in, largely because of his distribution at Inter Milan as well, a ball-playing goalkeeper, which they hadn't had for 10 years of David De Gea. And there were promising signs early on, but when you consider some of the mistakes he made in the Champions League in his first season, and yes, there were some good moments that he had last season, but Onana is still clearly a bit of a problem for Manchester United, and it will be on their list of things to do. But heading into this summer, goalkeeper was on the list, but not that high up the list. They've spent a huge amount of money revamping that forward line. I think next on that list is sorting out a central midfielder, but because they've been unable to sell players so far in this transfer window, when you look at major departures, Marcus Rashford's the only one. He's gone out on loan. Yes, Barcelona will pay all his wages, but there's not the money coming in. And because clubs know that Manchester United need to sell players, they want to offload these players because they need to meet their PSR requirements. It's making United finding it very difficult to sell players for the amount they want. They want £50 million for Alejandro Garnacho, but you're looking at £50 million for a player who's been completely frozen out, who is unlikely to be reintegrated in the first team. These clubs know that United need to sell. They're not getting the money which they thought maybe they would at the start of this summer, which makes it very difficult for them to be in a financial position and in a position in terms of meeting the requirements of the Premier League from a profit and sustainability perspective. They can go in and be aggressive and try to sign a player like Donnarumma or a player like Carlos Baleba.
You know what, I can imagine, I could see Donnarumma playing in the Premier League next season, but I think for it to happen, PSG would have to drop the asking price because, you know, 40-50 million euros for a player who's only got 1 year left on his contract, a goalkeeper. And also I think maybe some sort of deal would have to be done regarding his wages. I don't see a Premier League club at the moment paying the kind of money that he's on at PSG and also paying that transfer fee. But who knows? He's a brilliant goalkeeper, and I think it'd be great for the Premier League if he played in the Premier League as well, because he's such a sort of superstar all around the world.
Right. To be happy, Alejandro Garnacho, you've got an update there.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's going to leave Manchester United. Manchester United want to sell him, but the problem is that they value him at £50 million. Now, he only wants to go to Chelsea. Chelsea want to sign him, but they don't think he's worth £50 million. They think he's probably worth almost half that. I think they value him at around £30 million. The reason they think he's only worth £30 million is because they think he has no future at United and he wants to move to Chelsea, so much so that he's turned down a move to Bayern Munich.
Right.
United have been trying to set up a move with Bayern Munich. He said, no, I don't want to go to the German champions. I only want to go to Chelsea. Now, I've been trying to work out why are United asking for £50 million for a player who's not in Ruben Amorim's plans. Well, he's an Argentina international. He's still only 21. And if you look at other players with a similar profile who've moved this summer, they have moved for around £50 million. I'm thinking of players like Jamie Gittins, who's gone to Chelsea, or Madueke, who Chelsea sold to Arsenal. So I can see it from both sides. I can see why United are asking for £50 million, and I can also see why Chelsea are sort of trying their luck a little bit, because they know that he's going to leave and they're trying to get him on the cheap, effectively.
What do you think, Martin? Do you think this is more United just sort of trying to offload a player?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's to do with Garnacho. In normal circumstances,
Carlos Baleba has got 3 years left on his contract. Brighton have got the option to extend that for a further year. They don't want to sell. They've got no intention of selling. And because of his contract situation, they are under no pressure to sell as well. And I think also the price would be pretty prohibitive to Manchester United, and that would make it an almost impossible deal to do as it stands, because I'm sure we'll talk about it later about the number of players that Manchester United want to get money for because they want to offload. But I think Brighton will look at Carlos Baleba and they'll compare him to Moises Caicedo. And, you know, the noises coming out of Brighton are saying that he's actually further in his development